And we are back, and here we are then. Today is the day that I have been waiting for since 11 o'clock on Wednesday night last week when the full-time whistle went in England's quarter-final game. It is semi-final day. It is England's semi-final at Bramall Lane against Sweden, and I've got to be honest, I'm feeling good. I've got a good mood. I've been sort of on a little bit of a mini high since that quarter-final because of how dramatic it was, and I am feeling good about today's game. But before we get to my actual prediction, let's do the usual process of running through the final quarter-final game, looking at the points that we got, and then we shall go from there. As always, if you are enjoying this series and enjoying the content on this channel in general, please do consider subscribing and dropping a like, sharing with a friend, and ringing that bell. Let's have a look at what did happen in that final quarter-final. So, it was France and the Netherlands, and I went for a 2-1 win for France. It turned out to be an even more cagey affair than I initially thought. It was a bit back and forth. France were the controlling force for the overall play, I would say, but they weren't able to get the goal despite many chances. I mean, the open goal in the last 5 minutes, I don't know how she missed, to be honest with you. I think it was easier to score. But the Netherlands were good for the 0-0 draw in 90 minutes, as it were. Into extra time it went, and then the penalty incident. To be honest, I've seen it a few times. I'm still not overly convinced that it's a penalty. You don't really get a good angle of it from any of the replays. Like, my initial thoughts were it was a dive, and then, like I say, even on the further replays, it looks like her leg could be trapped under the trailing leg of the Dutch player, but the Dutch player's first leg is kind of blocking your view, so you're not really sure. I'm not convinced it was a clear and obvious error, as VAR always says, but the penalty was given. There didn't seem to be too many complaints from the Dutch players, so it probably was in the end, and that penalty was enough to see France win the game extra time 1-0, which does mean that I score 1 point because I predicted France to go through. No points from the actual 90-minute match, as I, of course, went for a French win in 90 minutes. So 0-0 and a French win means I score 1 point on the match day. And a tournament score now of 33 with 3 games to go, meaning I am going to need to get something correct if I am going to get my target of 40. What it does mean, though, with France progressing, is that in terms of the actual tournament prediction, I have now got the semi-finals absolutely spot on, with Germany playing France and England playing Sweden. Hopefully what I've put in the middle is exactly what happens, because there is a genuine outside chance I could win the actual overall tournament here. So what a great scoop that would be for me and this channel if I am able to win the actual tournament. But anyway, that is what's happened there. Let's now finally look ahead to tonight's game. And it is England against Sweden in the first Women's Euro semi-final. And like I said at the top of the video, I'm feeling confident. I think we are, on the balance of play across the games, we have played better than Sweden. That does not mean at all that we're just going to turn up and win tonight. I think Sweden have struggled to find their best form, but as we saw with Spain last week, they'd struggled to find their best form until they played England and then turned up, and it took a real effort from the English to get the result. I still think we get the job done. I am going to go for a 2-1 win. I think this game will be done in 90 minutes. I don't think we can afford to go to another extra time ahead of the final. We'll be starting to get a little bit worried in terms of fitness if we do go to a second extra time in a row. But I do think we've got the quality to win this. The real interesting thing for me would be, will Sarina Wiegman change the starting lineup? Personally, I don't think she will. I am, of course, an advocate for not fixing what isn't broken, but at the same time, what is it that isn't broken? Is it that we have a starting lineup where there's impact off the bench? Or is it that these players that have been coming off the bench are the better players, so they should be starting? So it is a bit of a weird toss-up. For me, I would like to see, and that might just be my Manchester United bias coming in, I'd like to see Russo and Toon start the game tonight. But I don't think that is going to happen. I think it is going to be Ellen White and Kirby once again, with the Manchester United players looking to make an impact off the bench. I would also like to see Kelly start to the game tonight as well, but We shall see. We shall see. I think regardless, we should be the better team tonight. And despite Sweden being the highest ranked team in the tournament, I don't think they've showed anywhere near enough as much quality as England have so far. So fingers crossed, I will be cheering the Lionesses on tonight, as the rest of you all should if you are watching this video. And I do expect England to get the job done. As always, please let me know down in the comments what you think is going to happen. And I will see you tomorrow, where hopefully I will have a big grin on my face looking ahead to tomorrow's semi-final. Come on, England, and thank you very much for watching.